everybody, welcome back to Two Old Crows Homestead. It's Shelly, and it is Monday, day 1 of week 3 of the Every Bit Counts challenge. So right here, I just got in from the garden. I have a bunch of cayenne peppers and some chili peppers that I'm going to stick in the food dehydrator, and then I also have a mess of green beans that I picked, and I'm going to break those and blanch them and stick them in the freezer with all the other ones I've collected. So that's what we're doing on day 1. See ya. Hey everybody, I just wanted to take a minute and show you what I do with my dehydrated cayenne peppers. I just crumble them up in little flakes or whatever, and then I put them in a jar and store them away for, to add to, scrambled eggs or chili or something like that. Just whatever you want to put some cayenne pepper flakes in. And I'll do the same with these chili peppers. So for Tuesday of the Every Bit Counts challenge, we're out here picking elderberries, and we're going to dry them in the food dehydrator. You want to make sure that you're picking elderberries that are this dark red color, almost black, and not the green ones. Let these get ripe before you pick them. Well, I've got all of the elderberries picked off of the little bunches that I picked outside. I've got about 2.5 trays that I'm going to stick in the dehydrator, and they should be done by in the morning. So here I have dried elderberries that just came out of the dehydrator, and they're going to go into this jar. So all that we have gotten out of these 2 rows is this right here. That's it. We planted more than we got. So when we talk about the Every Bit Counts challenge, that is no joke. If you saw my video about our big potato fail, this is our harvest. And like, this box is, I don't know, maybe 7 inches by 9 inches or something like that. But anyways, I'm putting them in a cardboard box, storing them down in our basement, and we will eat these for a meal. But yeah, every little bit counts. Hey, so it is toward the end of the week of work, week 3, so it's like Friday. And the last couple days I've been spending making soap. So, but I have been, every night I go out and get a mess of green beans, and I have been putting those away. And so that has been happening. All right, I'm getting ready to blanch yet another little mess of green beans right here. And then I have another box of tomatoes from my little produce guy, Michael, that I'm going to cook overnight in this and make tomato sauce. And hopefully this time I will actually make tomato sauce and not pizza sauce, but it's all good. All right, I've got another pot of tomatoes. Check that out, a bunch of tomatoes. I actually have all the tomatoes that I got from Michael, and then I have a bunch of the Roma tomatoes and some Amish paste and some of the ones that I've started getting out of our garden. So it made a pretty good sized pot. And I'm going to put the lid on this, and I'm going to turn it up to about 300 and let it get good and cooking, and then I'll turn it down to about 150 or 2 to cook overnight. And it's probably going to cook most of the day tomorrow, because the longer you cook it, the more it cooks the water out and makes better sauce. So yeah, that's what I'm doing right now. So this morning I went out to pick more elderberries. I have 2 trays of elderberries going in the food dehydrator. Hey, welcome back. Every Bit Counts challenge today. So this is what I'm working on today, and this has actually been over a couple days, and I have been preserving stuff every day, and I'll try to sort that out in the video. But so today, if you watched last week's video, you know that I turned my tomato sauce into pizza sauce, and so today I'm actually making tomato sauce. So I put this on to cook in our roaster oven on Friday, and I'm really just liking letting this cook down for a couple days on a low heat. and it gets a great smell and a great flavor. So anyways, I'm gonna let this simmer for about 30 minutes and then I'll be jarring it up. Okay, I have jars here sterilized. I also have jars in my oven that are sterilized, that are staying warm in the oven. I have added a tablespoon of lemon juice to each one of these because I'm going to water bath can these. And even though tomatoes are acidic and do well with water bath canning, not all tomatoes are created equal. And I have different types of tomatoes in here, so I want to make sure that there's enough acidity, you know, to ensure that everything that's not supposed to be in there is eliminated, all that kind of stuff. So next I'm going to add a half teaspoon of salt. So I'm going to put a half teaspoon in each jar just because we like that flavor. And you don't have to add salt, but I am going by the ball canning book, the recipe that's in there. If you're just making basic tomato sauce, all you need is to make sure that, you know, you either have lemon juice or citric acid and your tomatoes. That's all you need to do this. So yeah, now I'm gonna get the tomatoes in the jars and get them in the canner. So according to the ball canning book, this recipe, each bottle or each jar has to have a 1/2 inch headspace. So that's like the second notch. So I went through and checked, made sure all of my jars have a 1/2 inch headspace. Now I'm going to go through with vinegar and clean off all of the rims. I will put the lids on and stick them in the canner. They will water bath can for 35 minutes, and then the next batch will go in because this is actually only half of what I have. Okay, I'm going to try this fermenting thing again. And but this time I'm going to do it on a smaller scale. I'm not going to have like 3 jars going at once. I'm only going to use a quart jar. This has been sterilized, the lid's been sterilized. I spent this morning ripping out all of our cucumber plants because they're about done, and I had some smaller cucumbers out there, so I'm going to cut these and use these in this jar. So okay, according to Stacy, she says that you need to cut off the blossom end and any, you know, funky spots or whatever. And I have scrubbed these down, washed them. I don't know how many I'm gonna be able to get into this jar, but we'll see. I'm trying to pick the smaller ones so they'll fit better. I've also got dill that I'm going to add. What is this? About a teaspoon. I think I put a tablespoon when I had the gallon jar. So this was one of the problems, and several of you all gave me some pointers about what I was doing wrong. The dill actually floated to the top of my jars and was sitting on top of the water, and you can't have anything sitting on top of the water. So I still don't have any of those weights that you use to weigh stuff down, but I'm going to show you what I'm going to do in just a second. So I just put dill in here. I've got some garlic that was harvested out of our garden. I'm going to add that too. And I've got some bay leaves. Hopefully that will help with the keeping the pickles crispy. So I'm putting all of that in there. Now I'm going to add cucumbers. Since I've only got a quart jar, I have like, I don't know, 4 cups of water here, and I'm going to add 2 1/4, I think, which this is a half. My tablespoon thing is dirty, but so that's 1. So that's 1 tablespoon, 2 tablespoons, about half of that of unrefined salt. I'm going to stir that up. So since I don't have any of those weights yet to use for this, so what I've done, I've cut some of the pickles into chunks, and so my idea is to use this jar, this little, I had this jar, it was like, I think we use these for party favors for something, we put honey in them or whatever. I've sterilized this jar and I'm just going to put it in there just like that. And the lid will sit on top of that. To pour the water in. Everything is covered up, looks like. I'm going to put my lid on here. Put my lid on here and my ring. So I was watching another YouTube channel. They said that, so they like finger tightened it and then came back like a ½ inch or whatever. So yeah, that's what we're doing. One other thing that I'm going to do, a bunch of people told me that I needed to have it in a cool, dark place. One of the things that Stacy said on her video was to keep it out where you see it every day because you need to burp it. So I'm going to leave mine out on the counter, but I'm going to put I'm going to drape it with a dish towel. So it will be in a dark place. So I'll give you an update next week and we'll see if it works this time. I don't know. Check it out. 18 pints of actual tomato sauce. Hope y'all have a great week. Go preserve something. Go grow something and put it away. Yeah, God bless you. Have a great day.